All right, let's kick off another deep dive.
Yeah.
And today we're going to be looking at reader reactions to Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez.
Sounds interesting.
Have you had a chance to look at any of the reactions to this one?
Yeah, I have. And I've got to say, I think this is one that's really got people talking.
So this book tells the story of Abby, a veterinarian who reconnects with her high school sweetheart, Xavier, who's now a famous baseball player.
Yeah, it's a second chance romance.
Right.
So, we're dealing with that familiar will they, won't they, but Jimenez throws in some curveballs, some more complex, maybe even sensitive topics in there.
Yeah, and a lot of people are saying that they were really captivated by the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
That sweet and heartwarming kind of rekindling the flame aspect.
I mean, who doesn't love a good second chance romance?
Yeah, there's definitely some steamy romance in there, too.
Oh, for sure.
But a lot of reviewers are saying that even with those scenes, Jimenez manages to keep this emotional depth that really resonated with them.
Yeah, she doesn't shy away from going there.
Right.
But like you said, it's not just a love story, is it?
No, it's not.
Jimenez brings in some pretty heavy stuff like Alzheimer's disease, which affects Xavier's mother.
Right, and that seems to have really resonated with readers, especially those who maybe have some personal experience with that.
Definitely a lot of praise for her sensitive and honest portrayal of that.
And, of course, we can't forget Jimenez's signature humor.
Oh, the humor.
So many readers were talking about the witty dialogue, the funny situation.
Or comedic relief.
Yeah, it definitely helps to balance out some of those heavier themes.
It does. It makes it a more well-rounded read, for sure.
So let's talk about those characters a bit.
Yeah.
What were people saying about Abby?
People loved Abby.
Yeah.
They found her funny and strong and relatable.
Yeah, and being a veterinarian, she brings this, this certain charm to it, right?
Right, especially if you're an animal lover. And then you've got Xavier, the charming, supportive love interest, who seems to have, won over quite a few readers.
Yeah, he sounds like a real heartthrob.
Yeah, readers were really invested in their individual stories, but also that chemistry between them.
Which is key for a romance novel, right?
Oh, absolutely. You've got to have that spark.
But I'm sure not everything was perfect, right?
Well, that's the thing about any book. You're going to get differing opinions,
right.
And there were definitely some criticisms.
What were some of the things that people weren't so happy about?
Well, pacing seems to be a bit of a point of contention for some.
Oh, really?
Yeah, some felt like the story moved a bit too quickly, particularly in the second half.
Interesting.
As if, they were rushing towards that ending, and maybe some of the emotional beats could have been drawn out a bit more.
So they wanted more.
More development, more time to really savor those moments, I guess.
And what about the other side of that? Were there people who felt like it was too slow?
I didn't actually come across many comments saying it was too slow.
Oh.
Most of the pacing criticisms were about it feeling rushed, wanting it to be longer even.
Yeah, that's interesting.
As if they weren't ready to say goodbye to the characters just yet.
So finding that sweet spot with the pacing can be tricky.
It really can. It's a delicate balance for sure.
Were there any other criticisms that came up frequently?
Yeah, there was some discussion around the family drama aspect.
Oh.
Some readers really appreciated that Jimenez delved into these complex family dynamics,
right,
while others felt it was a bit excessive
and
maybe took away from the central romance a bit.
Yeah, so it sounds like Jimenez really aimed for a multi-layered story.
She did.
Which works for some and maybe not so much for others.
Exactly. It depends what you're looking for in a book, I suppose.
Right, so if you're someone who's really looking for a strict romance, this might not be the one for you.
Yeah, it's definitely more than just a fluffy romance, that's for sure.
But what about the overall impact? Like, did people generally enjoy the book?
Oh, yeah, overall, the reception was overwhelmingly positive.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, there were criticisms, like we discussed, but generally, people really seemed to connect with the story.
That's great.
Lots of comments about being emotionally moved, entertained.
Yeah, it's always great to hear that.
And, a lot of people were saying that they would recommend it to others.
Well, that's a great sign.
It is.
So, for those listening, if you're intrigued and you want to dive in and form your own opinion, we've got a special offer for you.
We do.
You can actually listen to Say You'll Remember Me. You're free.
With a free audiobook from Audible.
Yeah, just use the link down in the description to sign up for a free 30-day trial.
It's a great way to experience the story and connect with Abby and Xavier's journey.
And of course, we always love to hear your thoughts, so be sure to leave a comment below and tell us what you think.
Yeah, did the humor work for you? Did the pacing affect your enjoyment? Were you more drawn to the romance or the family dynamics?
All great questions. We want to know what you think. So be sure to let us know.
And as always, like and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into the books everyone's talking about.
All right, so let's dive into some specific reader comments.
Yeah, let's see what people are actually saying.
One reader said that Say You'll Remember Me cured their reading slump.
Oh, wow. That's quite an endorsement.
It is, right?
Yeah.
And then another reader was just blown away by Jimenez's portrayal of Samantha's experience with dementia.
Powerful stuff, huh?
It is, and it really shows how, how a well-crafted story can really connect with readers on a personal level.
Definitely. It's those little details, those moments of authenticity that can make a huge difference.
Absolutely. And then there was this one comment that really stood out to me.
Oh, yeah.
This reader said that the book ripped their heart out, but then mended it back together with gold.
That's pretty intense.
It is, right. But it also kind of captures that emotional roller coaster that Jimenez takes you on.
Yeah, I get that. There's definitely some heartbreak in there, but ultimately it's a hopeful story.
Right. It leaves you with this feeling of healing, I guess.
Exactly. And then you've got those readers who just become instant fans. They're like, give me everything this author has ever written.
It's great to see an author really connect with their audience like that.
It is. It speaks to her ability to create characters and stories that people just that just resonate with them on a deep level.
Yeah, and it sounds like the ending of this book really sparks some discussion.
Oh, endings can be tricky.
They can?
Some people felt it was a bit rushed.
While others loved it.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of reading, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's going to have a different experience, a different interpretation.
Absolutely. So one reader mentioned that the first 80% of the book was beautifully written, but felt rushed towards the end.
Okay.
And then you have another reader who just devoured the whole thing and wasn't ready for it to be over.
Yeah, it's like those books that you just don't want to say goodbye to.
Right.
And those characters just, they stay with you.
Exactly. And it really highlights how subjective reading can be.
Definitely. What works for one person might not work for another.
And then this one comment, I thought this was a really insightful one.
Okay.
This reader said, Jimenez writes romance.
Right.
But she never shies away from tough topics.
I like that.
Yeah, loss, grief, chronic illness, family dynamics.
It's not shying away from real life.
No, it's not. And I think that's what a lot of readers appreciate about her work.
Definitely. She tackles those issues head on.
So before we jump into some more feedback, let's kind of set the stage for those who haven't read the book yet.
Okay, good idea.
So Say You'll Remember Me follows Abby.
Our main character.
Yeah, she's a veterinarian, very dedicated to her work and her pets.
Yeah, animal lover for sure.
And her life gets turned upside down when she runs into her high school sweetheart, Xavier.
Who just happens to be a famous baseball player.
Yeah, talk about a blast from the past.
Right. And all those unresolved feelings come rushing back.
Yeah, and there's definitely a rekindled spark between them.
But it's not just about the romance, is it?
No, it's not. The story also explores those complex family dynamics, particularly through Xavier's mother, who's struggling with Alzheimer's.
A lot going on there.
It's a multi-layered story about love, loss, second chances.
The enduring bonds of family.
Yeah, so if that sounds intriguing,
And you're looking to dive in and experience it for yourself.
we encourage you to check it out.
Remember, you can sign up for Audible's free 30-day trial.
Yeah, use the link in the description.
Get a free audiobook.
It's a great way to really immerse yourself in the story and connect with Abby and Xavier's journey. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground with
A lot of positive feedback.
definitely.
But let's circle back to those pacing criticisms.
Yeah, we touched on it earlier, but some readers did find the pacing a bit uneven.
Yeah, a handful of readers felt like that last, 20%.
It's ending, basically.
The ending, yeah, that it felt a bit rushed.
Like Jimenez was maybe trying to tie everything up too neatly.
Yeah, maybe sacrificing a little bit of that emotional depth that we saw earlier in the book.
Right, and I think another thing that really stood out to me was the way that Jimenez uses humor
Yeah.
to address some pretty difficult topics.
Well, that's Jimenez's style, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and it's not like she's making light of this situation or anything.
No.
But it's more about finding those moments of lightness.
Yeah, those little glimmers of hope.
Exactly. And it makes those characters, and I think the readers too,
Yeah, totally.
feel more human.
More relatable, I think. It's like even when things are tough,
Right.
there's still room for laughter.
Yeah. And it's a reminder that even in the face of, adversity,
Right.
there's still space for joy.
Exactly. And I think that's a really powerful message, especially for a romance novel.
Yeah, I agree. And speaking of connecting with readers, there were actually a few people who drew comparisons between, say, You'll Remember Me and Sincerely Carter.
Interesting. Another romance novel.
Yeah, it is. And it also explores themes of second chance love, family dynamics, overcoming challenges.
So maybe there's a trend emerging here.
Could be. It seems like readers are really drawn to stories that offer both, like, escapism,
That lighthearted, feel-good element.
but also a deeper exploration of human emotion and relationships.
Yeah, I get that. Like, they want to be entertained.
Right.
But they also want something that resonates with them on a deeper level.
Exactly. Something that reflects the complexities of real life.
And, Jimenez does a great job of balancing those two things.
So if you're looking for a romance novel that has depth, heart, humor, and tackles real-life issues with sensitivity, Say You'll Remember Me is definitely worth checking out.
Absolutely. And if you want to dive in right now, remember,
We've got that special offer for you
sign up for a free 30-day trial with Audible,
using the link in the description.
and you'll get a free audiobook.
It's a great way to experience the story.
And we always love to hear your thoughts, so
Leave a comment below.
did the humor work for you?
Did the pacing affect your enjoyment?
What resonated with you the most?
We want to know what you think.
And as always,
Like and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives.
into the books everyone's talking about.
Until next time, happy reading.